have chosen to test this station's destructive power on your home planet of Order. Then name the system.
Wookiee religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blast. Like we're coming up on Alderaan.
You may fire when ready.
Welcome to the number one countdown to the Last Jedi podcast in the Oceanas. This week, joining me, Ciaran Marchant.
The Jedi return, they do.
Do they? And Ashley Hobley.
Oh, I'm returning this week, so I'm a Jedi.
You are?
Yeah.
You're actually returning to be a Jedi member of this council of podcast form. This week, we're going to be talking about this week's Star Wars movie, which is, we've all watched Return of the Jedi. We're officially capping off the original trilogy this week, and we're going to be talking about that movie. And also, I'll have a couple jumping off questions for it. Number one will be, did Luke actually ever become a Jedi? And number two, is Boba Fett actually cool, or is he just overhyped? And then at the end of the show, wrap it up with some Last Jedi news, and I have a bone to pick with a certain popular character who's officially made the shit list. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Someone is gonna die. A horrible death.
So you've invented a shit list just to put this person on it?
No, there's a shit list.
No, there's a shit
He's
list.
joining it.
Did you
Who
not
else is
see
on
the
the shit
outrage
list?
that was? Did you not see the outrage that was on Twitter? There was outrage.
If you follow me on Twitter, you should know.
I clued in. Yep, it just clicked. It's fine.
There's no way I'm not bringing this
Who
shit
else
up.
is on the list? We'll get into this when the list is brought up.
Spoilers. Okay. All right, so let's start off. We'll jump into talking about Return of the Jedi, the last of the original trilogy. It is my favorite Star Wars movie of all time. One of my favorite movies of all time. Absolutely love it. But to grab... and I mean, you can hear me talk about it on, if you go listen to Pleasure Explosion, top 5 movies episode. I talk about Return of the Jedi on that. So you can be on that. That was a thing.
It was
What?
a thing.
Ash's face is like questioning.
No, I'm
He's
trying
like,
to
Did
think.
you talk about?
I was just trying to think which episode it was.
He was trying to find.
Yeah,
an
I have no
Ashley
fucking-
did recently go through a list of episodes. So he
wanna
should
say
know every
32?
episode.
Let's go with
Sounds
32.
right. Sure, 32. We'll listen to that one anyway. Whatever. Let's jump off. I want to grab both of each of your opinions on Return of the Jedi, because I know to some people it's a movie they don't particularly like for different reasons, including Ewoks and stuff like that. And if you watch the Blu-ray copy like I did, I know a lot of people completely hate it for some of the added changes and stuff in it, like a certain song that's in Jabba's palace that a lot of people hate with a passion. So, Ciaran, Return of the Jedi.
I enjoy it. I actually somehow found a version without that song,
Oh, really?
like without the CG, and it made me so happy with my life. It was, but I bought it legally. That's how I found it was a VHS.
I don't believe anything you're saying right now. No.
Not a word.
Not a fucking word.
What? What?
What?
What?
So you like Return of the Jedi?
I
you
do.
like-
I
you
do
hate
enjoy Return of the Jedi. I always think I think the start always feels maybe a little slow, because I'm kind of just like, just give me Luke, man. Just give me Luke straight off the bat.
You have that big build up to his
Yeah,
epic
there's a
entrance,
big
though.
build up to his entrance, and I'm just like, no, start. And you know what? The thing is, for some reason, I always trick myself to forget about the start of the stuff before the entrance. And so I'm always like, all right, this starts with Luke walking up to the doors. Nope. Not at all. Nope.
It certainly does not. That's
Nope.
like 15 minutes
It's like
in or
15
so.
minutes in, and I'm always like, oh, yeah, that's right. Other than that, I really like this movie. It's a good movie. It has like foreshadowing of things to come as well. That's not just movie-wise, but George Lucas-wise.
Ashley.
Yeah, I
Return of the
enjoyed
Jedi.
it. I mean, it's not Empire, but it's pretty good.
Oh,
Oh,
straight away. with the
Oh, ain't no
fighting
Jedi,
words,
ain't
like,
no Empire, eh?
ain't no Jedi. Just
As
ain't no
we
Empire.
have learned this week, audience members, if you haven't gone back and listened to all of our podcasts this week, Ashley Hobley is a dark, dark person. There is some dark things in his life that I'm surprised by. Some
Only
of the
one
things
thing.
There was two things.
Was there?
you
What
brought
was the
up this
second
week.
thing?
They both involve children. Well, that sounds inappropriate.
Yeah, that sounds super inappropriate.
No, it was, there was only one thing actually. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, there's only one thing.
You know what? The other
Only
thing
one
was in
thing.
the podcast. The other thing was
Certainly not a secret project we're working on.
leave this in, please.
Yeah, I'm not touching it. Just so you can listen back to yourself realizing that you're talking about a secret project and then being like, oh, fuck, it's one thing. Fucking hell.
I'm crying.
And I stand by. That's a common trope in zombie things that you have to. That comes up.
Ask your friend what they would do. Oh gosh.
Oh, goodness
Moving
gracious
on.
me. Okay, you both like Return the Jedi. I think was the main point. No one here is a huge Ewok hater or something. Fucking God. Okay. If you haven't listened to this show before, fucking hell, shut up.
All right. Ewoks.
Deep breaths.
Singing
Deep
Jabba,
breaths.
singing Jabba Hutt section. Okay, I'm good.
Okay. If you haven't listened to this show before, we're now going to run through. We're just going to run through my notes of the movie, and if at any point either of these two doofuses want to jump in with a note from any notes they took in their head or with pen and paper or however the hell they do it, feel free. And we're gonna go through the movie from top to start, talk about it, certain things I want to make note of, and stuff like that. So, my first note was another Death Star. I always find it funny how fast
Yeah.
they build this.
What's the time period between this movie?
There's
and...
4 years between A New Hope and Jedi.
So
What's
is it
between Empire and how long is it between Empire?
Like
and
6 months.
6 months. Okay, 4 years. That's
Yeah.
and nobody knew
So it's
about
like
it.
4 years. Yeah, no one knew about it. It took them 18 years to finish the first one. Given that is also counting the weapon,
Yeah,
but still,
it was being delayed by.
it was being delayed.
Did they
by
ever bring
Krennic
up
and
that they were
stuff
like,
that.
did everybody just come out and be like, they were already building a second one at the end of New Hope? Like there was
No.
already no.
No. There's no information like this. So all I'm going to say is slave labor in the Empire definitely got a lot higher as the Emperor rushed out this second Death Star.
Maybe some contractor is like, yeah, we can do it for twice as quickly.
Maybe, because if you go by the opening of this movie, Vader's like, how's it going? He's like, not that great. The guy's like, we'll double our efforts. And then he goes and talks to another guy and he says, look, Vader's not happy. He's like, look, if you pay me $24 an hour, I can hire more men, get in some new weapons.
Yeah,
we can just get this thing
I mean,
done.
it is the Empire. They can just hire whoever they want. I mean, it's probably. I don't see what other construction jobs they've got going in the Empire. In the
That's
Empire.
true. I mean, it's a pretty good contract too. It's
pretty good on your resume.
Build
Worked
the
on
Death
the Death
Star.
Star.
That's
I'm always puzzled. My biggest questions about seeing them build the Death Star, and I had this in New Hope and in Return whenever I see them building, is how is it kept so secret for so long? Like, how is it just...
Galaxy's a big place,
It's a big place, but,
and they move it.
Yeah, but
That's how they
move,
got away
but,
with the first one.
There's this like small moon planet-sized mass just moving. Nobody notices. What?
I want to
Well,
know how they
it's- they
actually
just-
build it. Like what's the process? Do they get the
It's
outside
like
first?
building
or
Lego
would-
in space. No, they build sections. They build different
Well, they
sections.
build it on the ground first. To be fair,
So when they open up the manual, it's like, this is section A. Open bag A of Death Star parts. And then they open a big vacuum-sealed bag. They get it all out, and they start putting it together. It's really
They did
amazing to
start-
watch.
they did start building the original one on Geonosis, and in Rebels, there's an episode where Saw Gerrera gets word of there being something being built on Geonosis, and then he goes there to investigate it, but they don't find anything because the Empire quickly moves the Death Star off. Well, that's what you presume's happened. Like, that's what makes sense. But yeah, I mean, they were building it on Geonosis from after Episode 3 until few years up until New Hope, I suppose.
So is there like some slapstick moment where like Saul Guerrera's like talking to some stormtrooper and the stormtrooper's just like, no, haven't seen it, but at the same time like signaling to his buddy behind Saul Guerrera, like pushing the Death Star out of the way, just slowly?
No, they go
No?
to Geonosis. They find nothing there.
Oh.
It's just nothing.
No, nothing.
Dead planet.
Nothing. Maybe
Dead
they
planet. No,
maybe they hid it in a smuggler's hatch.
maybe.
Maybe.
It's also got hyperspace. That's how they move it around.
It's got hyperspace or a hyperdrive. Or it keeps
Hyperdrive.
Hyperdrive.
You can go into hyperspace.
Why didn't they wouldn't it be more efficient for them to build a giant robot that like kicks the Death Star like a soccer ball in the direction they want it to go?
I don't know if that sounds.
That
That's
doesn't
like
sound
some
safe at
Power
all.
Rangers. That's like some
that
Power
doesn't
Rangers
sound
level
safe at
shit
all.
right there. That'd be awesome.
Pretty sure you'd just kick a hole into the Death Star.
No, you
That wouldn't
build
be
it- you
effective at all.
build it like a
And
super
giant
strong
robots,
Death
that's
Star.
super unrealistic. That didn't happen a long time
Do you know
ago.
how big the robot would have to be too?
Yeah, that's why it'd be so impressive.
The Death Star's already not impressive enough.
No,
You're just like,
I've been desensitized to the Death Star. Maybe if they had two Death Stars together and like this long pillaring tower above it, that would be impressive.
You're fucking horrible. Fucking God. All right, next note. I also love how 6 months later, after Empire, Luke is like, I am Luke Skywalker, Jedi Knight. Got that title right quick. Whatever Jedi is going to even question myself calling me a Jedi. Because at the start of this movie, he's just like, cool, walks in, Jabba the Hutt, I'm a Jedi Knight. Well, I mean, no one's gonna tell him he can't call himself that, but he's just he jumps straight from Padawan to Jedi. Like he's all the way. He's like, I'm a Jedi Knight, the best one ever. Just calling out, and this is the first of a couple points that I will point out before we do get to the question of, did Luke ever actually become a Jedi?
Look,
So,
Jabba
we'll
the Hutt
tackle-
in his own language was just like, yeah, nah, mate.
Yeah, your mind tricks don't work. on
Yeah,
me.
nah, fuck.
But that's not just Hutts. That's they've shown in like Clone Wars and stuff like that. Certain species just won't be
Whatto?
older species. They just won't be fooled by that.
Annie,
that crap.
Annie.
Yeah,
Annie.
I wrote down this line because it actually made me laugh out loud. When after Han gets woken up or whatever you want to call it out of cryo freeze, and then he gets chucked in with Chewie there, and Chewie's explaining to him in Wookieese what's happening, what's the dealio, and then you just hear Han say, "I'm out of it for a little while." Everyone gets delusions of grandeur.
Wait, is Wookieese the actual term, or is that just a Dylan phrase?
No, that's the actual term.
Is it Wookieese? That's pretty
Awesome.
awesome. That's pretty cool. I appreciate that.
I'm not going to tell you if I'm actually lying.
I don't believe you.
Because
at
you
all.
deserve that after you're laughing for 5 to 10 minutes. Also, Star Wars. Cool shit, whatever you want.
Yeah, that's true.
So for you, Ciaran, Wookieese.
Can we go back to that terrible music? Because that was terrible. Why did you do that?
You want to discuss the song?
Yeah, why?
Well, because they wanted another like cool song moment after the canteen.
Well, why didn't they make it cool?
Why
Why did Jabba just drop the girl in the pit?
I fucking know it. I think he was like trying to pull on her. That sounds disgusting. Well, I mean, what he was trying to do is disgusting, to be fair. I'm pretty sure he was trying to like pull on a chain to make her come up to him. And she was like, nah, fuck off. Like, let me just keep dancing. And then he just spits with her and was like, oh, fuck you then. Then just like chucks her down to the hole there.
Yeah.
Dylan Blight, you're a liar.
Yeah.
You lied to me.
Why? Nah, I wouldn't lie to you.
It's called
I told you
it's called Shiri Wook.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Ha-
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Wookieese in English.
Shiri
It's
Wook.
Wookieese.
It's not Wookieese.
Shiri-
Be banished.
My fa-
You are no longer the lead smart genius in all things Star
Look,
Wars.
if you rewind the podcast, I said I may or not be lying to you right now.
Yeah. But you then proceeded to lead me on, Dylan.
I may or may not have also said, you probably deserve this trolling because if you're laughing for 5 to 10 minutes. Also, I called it Wookiee before I found out what it was actually called. So I think it's like stuck in my
stuck
head
with you?
from like a little kid, you know, just being like, what's Chewie speaking? Wookiee.
Wookiee, man.
Because it just made just Wookiee. Made note of all the creatures and characters that we meet in Jabba's palace is my favorite shithole of the entire trilogy, and I use the term shithole in a positive aspect. Like, I know a lot of people who love New Hope love all the characters and whatever stuff like that you see as you span through the cantina there, but I am a much bigger fan of the absolutely ridiculous characters that we meet in Jabba's palace because they are crazy. They're just weird. They're a lot weirder.
Also,
Everything.
No bedrooms. No bedrooms at all in...
No, they all just sleep
they
together.
all just like,
they
this
cuddle
is
up,
the
sleep
throne
together.
roomy area. Pull up a bit of floor. Put up part of the floor. Just lie there, man.
How can you not love a little guy who just constantly laughs like a weird cackling muppet? Like, what the fuck is that?
What is that?
Also, what is that? I don't know. That's just his thing, isn't it? That's his thing. I don't know.
No help at all, Dylan.
What do you want me to tell you? Why he's laughing?
What
I
it
don't know.
is?
Because what is his species?
Yeah.
I have no fucking idea what his species is.
Clearly not important.
question.
What's his backstory? How'd he get there?
My God, you're like full on like, Jesus.
Give us the answers,
Christ. I don't know. I don't
Doesn't
know how
matter. Taking too much time. Let's move on.
Okay, sorry. I don't have to. I was trying to remember his fucking name now, but I was mental blanking. That's the most I could offer you, but I can't even remember that. Brian Altano will know.
We'll get him next week.
Yeah, we'll just get him on next
Please
week.
tweet at Brian Deltano.
All right. I wrote down Luke's entrance is very cool, but I'll always be questioning his forced choking of the Gamorrean guards, and that's the type of thing that has me questioning what type of character Luke will be in Episode 8. Because no matter how many times I watch Return of the Jedi, I cannot let the forced choking pass. I'm like, that is not Jedi polite action at all. That is not a Jedi move.
Thing is,
You don't just force choke people.
maybe that is the new version of a Jedi.
Nope.
Maybe it is. Because, the
Nope.
original version of a Jedi worked out real well.
Yep.
Good on them.
Then he's not a Jedi.
Good on them. They all listened to what they wanted to do. They all freaking, they always did as they were told. Good on you, Jedis. Let's stay that way for another million years.
So what you're saying is that if the older other Jedis simply had force choke people, they would have come out better.
Yep.
No, what I'm saying is that if the other Jedis had
Can't
changed,
get shot in the back if you're force choking somebody.
Exactly. If they had changed, then they might not be in the predicament they are in now. Sometimes
Okay, well,
you
if-
have to do bad
if-
things to
if-
get good crap done. That's why I'm a chaotic good.
You
person.
gotta can't be set in your ways.
Exactly.
Be fluid.
Yeah, just remember
Give
this
it the
point
times.
Yeah.
and for a little bit
You
here.
just got to be willing to make or break something.
My next thing I wrote down was Rancor owner. So sad. Feels bad, man. Because it is one of the funniest scenes in this movie is when the Rancor dies and they have that topless dude just come out and start bawling his eyes out at his dead pet or whatever it is. It's like a kind of like a weird scene you'd see out of like Mad Max or something like that. I don't know. It's just this weird topless dude with like a vest on, and a hat, and he comes out, starts bawling his eyes. I'm like, I don't even know what's going on anymore. And as we build to the first question I want to ask everyone, I wrote down as my next point, Boba Fett really goes out like a sucker.
Worst character in Star Wars.
Okay.
It's taken out
Yeah,
by
well,
a
that's-
blind Han Solo.
Worst
Yeah,
character
that's my
in Star
question.
Wars.
Okay, Boba Fett.
The fact
what
that he-
does everyone?
the fact-
wait, what
fa-
does everyone
the
really
fa-
think of him? Think about everything he did. Think about everything he did in the entire trilogy, and then how do you think if you both don't like him, why do people actually like him or try and act like he's actually cool?
I just don't like. You know what? What really killed Boba Fett for me was that he had a Wilhelm level of scream. Like, it was like the scream he does is just what? What? I wish, like...
He gets shot in the back randomly. He's blast. He just gets jetpacked across the room. Dead.
Dead. He's just, I think...
But the coolest character ever, apparently.
Did he say something this movie? Did he talk at all?
Yes. You think he had 2 or 3 lines? It was minimal, and it was not much.
No.
But...
Because I remember listening...
He nods
watching...
at Leia.
Huh? No. Because I remember thinking, did they give him a Kiwi accent? Did they redub Boba Fett?
Yeah, they redub him in both the movies, but I don't like... I think at most in this he just says, like, I'll handle it. Or, something ridiculous, like something so simple as that. And then he gets over there and he's gone. And everyone's like, Boba Fett's the best, coolest character in Star Wars.
He jetpacks a little bit.
He jetpacks a little bit, that's correct. Yeah,
people just kind of... people just seem to, like, look at... His suit's awesome. The idea of the character's awesome. They forget about the actual content and substance to keep that idea of awesomeness going. And the other thing is when people hold him in such high esteem, when they hold him on the same level as Darth Vader, I'm like, no, stop.
This isn't even like, I know some people complain that they changed his like they redubbed him with the Kiwi accent after they did the prequels, and I'm like, you cannot blame that for him not being cool, because that does not change any of his scenes in the movie. We're not even talking about what he says. Just like everything he does in this, all he does, he wasn't originally in New Hope, but now he is in the special edition Blu-ray, whatever you want to call it. And all he does there is just stand in the background. In Empire, he stands around, does nothing, and then goes, "Can I take him yet? Cool." And then this, he like fires off a shot and then dies. Yeah. Like, what?
Do you think to make up for this, they could have made Jango Fett cooler when they did the prequels?
I don't not like Jango Fett. Like
I don't
think
like Jango Fett, but they could have made him cooler.
Yeah, I don't think Jango Fett's super exciting, but I don't think he's uncool. I mean, I think he goes out just as fucking simply as his son does later.
No, he gets cut in the head by a Jedi Knight.
I'm just gonna fly down there, and then the head just flies off. I'm like, okay, well, you're an idiot. I don't know why you thought you could take on all these Jedi. Like,
at least you get hit in the back by a blind guy.
Blind guy, yeah. Boba Fett. Whenever I see polls, like remember the official Star Wars Twitter did a poll like last year. What is the best bounty hunter? And it's like Boba Fett, IG-88, like Bosk, all this sort of shit. The answer to who is the best bounty hunter character in the Star Wars universe is, and I don't know if you've come across him yet in your Clone Wars watching, Ciaran, or how much you've continued, but it is Cad Bane, who's in Clone Wars.
No, I've not got that far.
When you get to an experienced Cad Bane, that is the coolest bounty hunter character in Star Wars. He is a character that is basically like a Wild West dude. Like, he's got the hat. Like, they kind of give him like an accent, so he sounds like he's like a Texan kind of sounding Wild West dude. And you've got this character he's actually cool, and he's actually does stuff. And I'm like, how can anyone not? And then like people who even put like IG-88 and shit, like Bosk, I'm like, they were in the movie for like 4 seconds. Like, they're standing there, Vader's like, I've hired some bounty hunters, and then they're gone. Like, we never see them again.
Did they have books and comic books?
Yeah.
But
still. No.
It's not canon
That's all
anymore.
they do in the movies. It's not canon anymore anyway, even if they had other things.
They haven't done anything, is what you're saying.
They haven't done anything that's apart from stand there. Actually, no, I think one of them might be in the comics. I can't remember. But even then, it's... Cad Bane's the correct answer. Everyone else can get fucked. You can tweet at Viva La Dill if you've got a problem. Fuck you. Don't care. Mute you. Thank you for listening.
Get muted. Get muted on.
Get muted, son. The next point I wrote down was, I kind of wish we got a little more crazy Yoda before he died.
You know what? I don't like the death of Yoda.
No, I don't either. I feel like it just kind of happens too fast. It's just like, Luke's like, I'm going to go visit an old friend. We don't get a build up to the death. It's like a cutscene, dying. Okay.
There's no reason given.
Yeah. It's just like old age. I gotta go.
For the level
And then his
of
dying scene is actually funny.
amazingness, the level of awesomeness in that character, that death is totally not fitting.
Yeah.
No, and it's also a funny death. Like,
Yeah. That's what, yeah. The fact that Yoda's used as comic relief is really sad.
he's like, he kind of laughs at Luke calling himself a Jedi. He's like, mate, you did like a few months training. Come on, like let's calm down. And then as he's dying, he keeps doing, look, there's another, and then kind of nearly dies off, and then look, can you rub my feet? And then nearly dies. Then look, I need to return those DVDs. Look.
Isn't that the Family
There's
Guy
another-
version?
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure Family
That's
Guy
the
has done
Family
like
Guy
a rip on
version.
it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Family Guy's gonna rip like Sims. I don't know, all these like cartoons, and it's. I mean, it's funny to watch. You can't help but watch it now. It's just like.
Has anybody affected their Star Wars watching by watching the Family Guy parodies? Because for me, there's like moments where I can't help but have a smirk on my face when I start thinking of the Family Guy version. Like the scene on the barges before the pit where they're all nodding. And Family Guy does like a full 3-minute version of that.
Yeah, 3 minutes.
And I'm always laughing at it because I always think about it now whenever I see that scene. So
Yeah. To be fair, the Family Guy things are made by like big Star Wars fans, so they're like that's why all the parts they point out are so funny because they're made by people who've watched those movies like so many times. And then I just kind of think it's funny how like in his dying moments, Yoda 2's like, "Oh yeah, you're not fully a Jedi yet, but kill your dad, and you will be." And I'm again like, that doesn't sound like proper Jedi code either. Like,
No.
go kill your dad, and then you can be a Jedi. I swear. Dad.
Jokes.
Yeah.
JK.
Haha jokes. JK.
JK, lol jokes. Lol.
All right, so
Fingers
on
crossed.
that, yeah, let's jump onto it because with everything we've seen so far in the movie and talked about and stuff like that, does anyone here actually think Luke actually becomes a Jedi by the end of this movie, Ciaran?
Yes, but it's not the Jedi that is. It's not the same Jedi as was before the Rise of the Empire.
Okay.
Well, like
Feel
if
free
it's
to
a,
expand
it's
on that.
no. I'll expand as in to say that because like the way of the Force is so out of balance and out of whack currently because of the dark side's influence on the galaxy that a different kind of Jedi has to be created to outbalance it, to fix the balance in the Force once again. Being a bit more reckless, a bit more, maybe a little closer to the dark side of the Force, in my opinion. And that's what's needed.
Well, Luke wears black and Force chokes people.
Yeah.
So
And it needs to be a bit closer to be able to stop the dark side and to defeat the Empire, which I'm not saying is a good thing because the outcome of that is felt in Episode 7 of being that kind of quote-unquote Jedi. But in my opinion, I still think he's a Jedi, yes.
okay, Ash.
Well, is a Padawan considered a Jedi?
No.
No.
Well,
No.
I mean, they're you're on your learners, I guess.
Yeah,
Like,
so technically he's still a...
you're a
Jedi.
learner Jedi.
Yeah.
But you're not a Jedi Knight. Like, he walks
That,
in like,
that,
I'm
that
a
wasn't
Jedi
the
Knight.
question.
Fucking calm down.
I know. What are the trials? Like, I always hear about the Jedi trials, but they never explain it.
Yeah,
in
well,
movies.
They never show them,
never
not even
come-
with Anakin's stuff. Anakin's just kind of like, well, shit, we better make you a Jedi Knight now. Fuck, we kind of need you as a general, bud. Isn't that kind of what happens? You're going to say no.
So how Anakin becomes a general?
Yeah.
Was he a Jedi at the
They
start
put-
of episode 2?
No, he's a
He
Padawan.
was, no, he's still a Padawan.
Okay.
In between episodes, after episode 2, he becomes a proper Jedi Knight and becomes a general, like during the Clone Wars. But they pretty much during the Clone Wars they are pretty much like rushing through Jedis and like Padawans to try and get more onto the battlefield. So it's like, all right, yep, sure, good enough. Move on. Yep.
Well, that
How are
sounds
you,
like
10?
the sort of thing that Luke went through, huh?
Yeah.
It just sort of had to get one, so they just passed. Just
I don't know. I
let him
feel like my
sneak
thing
through.
is always like, it's not just the ability to like control the Force or use a lightsaber. There's all this like knowledge and like there's the book work and stuff that he's never had to train on and stuff like that to be a Jedi. It's like he can use the Force, he can use a lightsaber. Cool. Like he never had to train. Like learn the knowledge of the Jedi code or their ways or anything like that. Like all the times watching the prequel trilogy where Anakin will be like, "Well, that's not the Jedi way." Like he had to study all that shit. At least he knows the difference, and everyone else does. Like there's the book work part that that Luke never experiences. And although we can assume, like if you look at Episode 8 trailers and stuff like that, look. We can presume at that point Luke's done a lot more book reading into the past of the Jedi and whatever else and this sort of thing. But at the point by the end of Episode 6, he's just like, all right, I can use the Force. All right, I beat my dad in a lightsaber battle. 10 out of 10 Jedi Knight, I guess. Give me the gold star.
So what you're saying is
yeah,
the prequels ruined Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, prequels ruin a lot for a lot of people.
Okay, I'm going to rebuttal with a bit of a outlandish kind of thing. Not outlandish, but so say if the current police force as we know it, all for some reason they're all dead. They're all just every policeman in the world died all at once.
Yep. No, I'm not going to ask how, but
Yep, they all died all at once. All of their kids got an arm blown off, and they all had problems dealing with it.
Jesus. Yeah, all right. You're the Ashley.
Wow,
this week.
jeez.
And then they had to retrain people to be the police. Do you retrain those people by sitting them through the entire course of how to be a policeman, or do you do like an abridged version to get the police?
Abridged.
You do an abridged version?
But I don't feel like Luke even got the abridged.
Luke kind of got an abridged version.
How long was he training on Dagobah?
From who? How long was he training on Dagobah? Like in Episode 5?
Yeah.
Couple months, I think.
And did he go back to Dagobah?
Or a couple weeks or something like
What
that.
did Luke do between 5 and 6?
Good question. I think they cover some of it in like one of the books or novels that I've read. Like I remember reading something.
Did he go
like,
back
that's
and
currently
train some
canon.
more? Did he go back and hang
No,
out?
he like goes off and does like another mission or something with the like him and Leia go off to the. This is a comic or a book. It's one of the new things. Him and Leia like go off and they try and get
they do
the rebellion to help them save Han. Like, can you help us come save him? And then they're like, nah. And then eventually they give up and they presume like do their whole plan themselves, like without the help of the rebellion. Because the rebellion's like, we're not risking our people to save fucking Han Solo. Like, that's not. Mon Mothma's like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's exactly what she said. Yeah, so I don't know. On the whole, like, I wouldn't consider Luke a proper Jedi by the end of.
So no
Episode
Jedi
6.
returned in this, is what you're saying?
So you're saying
No,
that
that's
the
my
title lied.
point. Yeah, I'm saying the title's a lie.
And so what you're saying
And so
is
the new movie's
how
title is a lie.
Yeah, how does Rey become the last Jedi then? Or
Well,
is
she
the
lost-
last?
She's not the last.
Or
Jedi.
is there
there
the last
any
Jedi
Jedi at all?
Or is the last Jedi technically Obi-Wan for some weird reason?
No, the Last Jedi is Luke because Ryan Johnson confirmed it on Twitter.
So
Well,
what
would
you're saying
technically the
Title refers
last
to Luke.
Jedi be Yoda
Officially-
because he was the last one
all
alive.
right, so officially the people that make the Star Wars say that
The Star Wars.
the Star Wars say that Luke's a Jedi. Therefore, your question has been answered. That yes,
No,
Luke's a
I'm
Jedi.
saying that Luke is a Jedi by the time we meet him in Episode 8. I'm saying by the time.
But how does he become a
finishes
Jedi when there's
Episode
nobody
6?
to teach him?
He goes off and reads books and finds Jedi temples and like whatever else and like has a little bit more training.
There's no like you can't just read How to Be a Jedi for Dummies and then like call yourself a Jedi.
Is there
Sure.
How to Be a Jedi for Dummies?
Probably.
Is there in that library?
Well, to me, this depends what you're describing being a Jedi as. Being a Jedi to me is very much like a religious thing. Like it's a they have, we've been over the amount of ridiculous rules they have and stuff like that. You know, you can't have partners, you can't have friends, whatever else. All their ridiculous rules. All of that's part of being a Jedi. So if Luke's not following those, he's not a Jedi. He's just someone that can use... He's just an Ahsoka. Ahsoka leaves the Jedi Order. Whenever she's in Rebels, she's not a Jedi.
In my mind,
she can
she's
use
still
the
a
Force. She has lightsabers. She is not a Jedi.
She's a Jedi.
Luke, end of episode 6, as far as I'm concerned, not a Jedi.
You've had your
He doesn't have-
credentials retracted because you said Wookienese. So, therefore, your points are invalid.
Favorite moment of the podcast was making you question me so hard that you had to Google that.
So, Ahsoka is a Jedi, and so is Luke.
Ahsoka is not a Jedi.
Because I'm going to call all people that represent the good side of the Force a Jedi.
Why do the ones who are good have to be Jedis? Why do there have to only be Jedi and Sith?
Because that's all there is. That's all
Good
they're
or
allowed
evil?
to be.
Well, then,
Nope.
Then what's his name from Rogue One a Jedi? Chirrut?
Nope.
Yeah, he is.
No,
He
I'm
certainly
asking
is
Kieran.
not.
Yeah, he is. He's a Jedi.
Yeah.
Die on your horse.
We've all got a little Jedi and a little Sith Lord standing on our
Oh
shoulders.
my god.
One
right.
one say, "Do it, do it."
Jesus. That leads on to my next thing I wrote down, fits in perfectly right down. I wrote down Obi-Wan's troll line of, from a certain point of view.
Oh,
When Obi-Wan-
I've heard
when-
a certain point
yeah,
of view
yeah.
for something before. What would that be, Dylan?
On that note, you can win the book that this is the title of this thing by going to our social medias and something. I
Yeah,
wish I
go
had,
to
like, a
Twitter.
bit.ly link. We
It's the
should've.
pinned tweet at the top of our page.
Okay, and you can win the book from a certain point
Oh,
of view.
that's what it's from. Okay.
Yeah, with such
There you
authors
go.
as Meg Cabot, Greg Rucka, Ashley Eccleston,
You go, Ash. You
Kieran
got it?
Gillen, Claudia Gray.
Yep.
Samuel Witwicky.
No, he's
No.
Chuck Wendy, Will Wheaton, Gary
Yep.
Whitta, bunch of people.
Will Wheaton,
Yeah.
Star Trek, not Star Wars.
No, he wrote a short story in
Get
that
out
book.
of here, Wheaton.
Kelly
No,
Sue DeConnick, that's the
he's
end
in
of
that
the name I
book.
noticed.
He's done it. He appreciates old fandoms, the Wheaton. And that was my good job, Ash, because that was the whole point of writing down that note. Right, moving on.
Nerds.
Luke's,
Also, how does Luke just suddenly realize that Leia's his sister?
that was my next point. I wrote down, Luke's like, sister. There's only like
One
three
other
women
female
in all
character.
these movies. So by count, I have a 33.33% chance of guessing this right. Obi-Wan. Is it like, you're correct, I fucking knew it. I knew it was Leia. Knew it. Felt it right in my bones. I didn't really, I just took a shot. But,
her or
yeah,
Mon
no,
Mothma?
it is... yeah, it's like... we hasn't even met Mon Mothma at this point, like, that we've seen on screen. Like, how you don't even have to believe that he's met her yet. It's like, Mon Mothma's like the scene later. Okay, Luke, good job. I'm glad you got that guess right. There's... for the older females. Imagine if it would have narrowed it down. It's like, your sister. Yeah, well, I've only met two women in my whole life. Obi-Wan, don't worry. I've
One of them was
got it.
my
There's
aunt.
not many.
And one of them's dead,
Is it-
yeah.
yeah, it's like-
one of them's dead.
And my aunt's dead, so that brings my shots up to 66% chance of getting this question right. Yeah, no, that is a weird thing. I mean, it is supposed to be just him, presumably like suddenly realizing that this weird feeling he's had might be like feeling the Force or something. I don't know. Like
Well,
you
it
can
wasn't-
try and just
Is,
play
like,
it off.
It
Do
wasn't
we-
sexual, it was familial, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Did they
yeah.
cut out the scene
Yeah.
where he like washes his mouth out with carbonite or something? Like, just gets rid of the sister germs.
Yeah, no, it's really awkward. They should have really
They
had
don't
a
address
scene
it at all.
Just
No.
to teach young kids how to address that situation, because that does happen.
Before
in
you
a lot of
start
young
making out with
people's
somebody,
lives.
get a DNA test.
Yeah, everyone you meet ever.
Please, this was a lovely dinner. Please swab the inside of your mouth and the bottom of your tongue, and I will be back in 8 to 10 days.
Thank you very much. And then we may kiss. My next note was, I love the Endor speeders. I want a VR mission where I get to ride on them, and then I want to throw up dodging trees.
I was gonna say, Dylan, you'd like make it like 2 minutes into it and be like, "Bleh."
Yep.
Yep.
Is that
I'm
a
well
speedrunning
aware,
game
but-
yet? How have they not made that a speedrunner game?
Yeah, I know. Imagine that. How is it not a VR game where I can
Yeah.
throw up yet? That's the bigger question.
How
That's
did
the- that's the
how
only
are the
thing. So-
Give
stormtroopers
Battlefront
so good
2
at
another
riding
6
them?
months, and
How's
That's a yes.
no? Don't
How's
worry,
the-
that's fine. Carry on.
How's the stormtroopers able to dodge the trees?
Like, how are they so good? They were really good at driving them. Like,
they
They're
practice.
trained.
yeah, but wow, why didn't the Force like crash them into a tree? That's why they missed so many of their shots.
Nah. Spend more time on bikes.
Doing doughies.
They got crash sensors.
On Ewoks, I wrote down Ewoks are cute. The generation before me that hated them can all get fucked. Who doesn't love cuddly teddy bears that may or may not also want to cook and eat you? I don't understand. There's what isn't there to love about them? The people comparing Ewoks to I'm fucking mental blanking on his fucking stupid name. What's his name from episode 1?
Moi moi.
Oh, yeah.
Moi,
that cunt.
moi.
What the fuck is his name?
Jar Jar,
Yeah,
you mean?
Gungans.
You started
Jar Jar,
saying it at
thank
one
you.
point. You were like, Jar, no,
Did
we're
I?
talking.
I was like, Jar, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, it's like people compare Jar Jar to Ewoks. I'm like, yo, you don't even know. Jar Jar
Honey.
isn't cute at all. He's fucking annoying as
And
all
ugly.
hell. So it's not even
No.
in the same
No,
class. I don't know what the
no.
fuck he's right
The
about.
Ewoks were the foreshadowing I talked about earlier. The foreshadowing
yeah, towards what?
of George Lucas's money grubbing ways of putting something in that was supposedly to sell stuff. Goddamn Ewoks.
He always made these movies for kids, which is the weirder part. People always act from the get go. Episode 4, he's like, it's a kids movie.
It is not a kids movie.
He thought he always
He
sold
has
his
some.
movies as kids
He has
movies.
some messed up ideas of what a kids movie is. What kids movie have you ever
Well,
watched that has
to be fair-
incest, that has people getting their arms chopped off, has main characters dying quite regularly, has like all this crap, has slavery, has like Leia white. That outfit's not a kids movie outfit. The Leia's in.
Certainly not.
No,
That period of time, it was a dark period.
Yeah.
A lot of kids' movies were pretty dark.
no wonder the world we live in is screwed.
Yeah.
Also, on that outfit, that is the worst Leia. If you're going to buy one $400 figure of Leia and you spend it buying Slave Leia, I hate you.
I don't actually find it attractive. I don't.
Well, I don't know why
I
you
don't
should.
find
Like,
it
why?
attractive.
I know people who are obsessed with, like, she's a slave.
I don't. Yeah,
It's-
there's people that buy this costume for their like partners to wear, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, I don't.
Why? It's ugly.
don't-
Like the costume
Well, it's
itself.
not just
is
that.
ugly.
I couldn't get past the
The slavery thing.
like the story behind it to get turned on. I don't think. If I'm being honest.
no, I was
Just be like, hey, honey, how are you? I'm like, hi, do you want me to free you from your evil...
Slug?
Can you just get changed? Like,
Maybe you do save her, and then she's really thankful. I don't know.
fucking...
Whatever roleplay you
No,
want
this
to
is
do,
not
Dylan.
this is not role play I'm into. Sorry. Just
You're saying you are into
like-
roleplay though.
can you dress up as a...
Can you please dress up as a porg?
All right.
For the
Find me someone
premiere.
who's into that. Find me some... I was about to say, is this for a sexual thing? Because you'll have to find me someone who's into that first.
I was gonna
for
say
sure.
bit of both.
Yeah, a bit of both.
Might pick up if you...
Maybe if I dress up as a porg at the premiere, I'll find someone who's into it.
Yeah, you just find somebody who's dressed up as a Wookiee.
How do you meet your future wife, Dylan? Well, I was dressed up as a porg.
How I found my future wife? That makes no sense.
Well, I'm just having like inner
Sentences.
monologue, I guess. I don't know. All right. One of my last things to talk about. I never forgive Anakin. Maybe there was good in him at the time when he died, but I can't forgive what he did as the time he was Vader, and I wouldn't be able to do the same for Kylo Ren, even though people like to theorize that Kylo Ren could come around to the light side.
Why is
Opinions.
Why is Luke so dead set that there is definitely good in him? I've seen
feels
no
it.
evidence other than he's his father and he's
He feels it. He can sense it in him.
Thing is,
We can't see the
Luke's
sensing.
known this kid since it was born, probably. Like, Luke's known this. It's one of those things where, if you've known somebody, like even like the stuff with like Obi-Wan, probably until the whole Darth Vader stuff, Obi-Wan always saw the good in Anakin, and always, And maybe he still felt there was good in Darth Vader because, you know, he didn't, like, just out and out say to Luke, hey, your dad's a dickhead.
Could you forgive a criminal in the real world who slaughtered hundreds to thousands of children?
It depends on your relationship with them beforehand. Some people...
I don't know. Were they Nazi children?
No, though, the thing is, though, like, some people... It's just one of those things that you can't... Like, it's hard for people to get over just because, you know...
Families,
some people just unconditionally love. It sucks, and I wish people weren't in that situation, but they do. You know? If you were... I can guarantee no... Like... No, I'm not going to say that because that would still be wrong. Like, yeah.
Oh, what
say it.
No. I was going to say something along the lines of, you know, even though a murderer is a murderer, they're probably their mums still love them, but that's probably not the case in some cases. So, yeah.
No,
I'm sure
probably
it's
not a
true in
blanket
some
statement.
cases.
No, it's not a
Yeah,
blanket
blanket
statement, but I think
statement,
it's probably more than people expect.
But on your personal level,
Me as a person,
can you forgive Vader? Can you forgive Vader?
I
at
don't
the
think
end
it's
of the scene?
it's a forgiveness thing. I think it's a hope thing. Because like that's like the worst feeling you could, let's get deep here, friends. That's like the worst thing to admit to yourself, that you have to give up on somebody, that you can't hold out hope for somebody that you really care about. Like you if you let go of hope, that is a shit feeling that, you know, sticks with you for a time. And I don't think Obi-Wan had fully given up on Darth Vader.
Ashley.
No. Can't
No.
forgive
Kieran's whole speech.
No.
Nah.
Nah, you can fuck right off.
He was
there.
complicit with murdering millions and billions of people. He helped blow up an entire planet. I mean,
And more that we don't know of from the movies.
he happily cut off his own son's hand. I mean, come on.
You know,
This
it's-
was a long time ago
I
in a galaxy far, far away.
in a galaxy far, far away.
Shit's changed.
Yeah, our ethics
always
have
find
changed.
it-
You can't forgive.
I always find the end of the movie weird because it's like this whole emotional scene, and I feel like as an audience member, I'm supposed to be like, "Oh, I'm feeling this right now. I'm feeling the family relationship." When no matter every time I watch this movie, I'm like, "You're a fucking dick, and I'm glad you're dead, Bye Vader." Like, fuck
Wow.
you. They give a
Wow.
shit. Fuck you,
You
murdering son of a
heartless piece
bitch. You
of shit.
fucking murder. Heartless.
heartless.
Look what he did.
He knew what he'd messed up. He knew it.
He didn't just mess up. He didn't spill the milk, drop the eggs. He fucking lightsabered a lot of children and people, innocents to fucking death. Blew up a planet, took part in it. Thousands, millions of lives.
Yeah, but the only thing that matters in life
is
is how
Adolf
you end,
Hitler.
not the rest of it.
Would you forgive Adolf Hitler?
It depends. Did he stop an evil emperor and save my life?
No, I feel like I need to bleep that. I'm not sure if that's allowed out there.
Edit it so he says yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's how I feel about Kylo Ren, though. Like, whenever people theorize, like, oh, you know, maybe, like, by the end of the third movie, he'll come around and be a good guy, and I'll be like, you murdered Han. Get fucked. Like, I'm not... like, he's already on the shit list, which we'll get to quite shortly. He's on the shit list. Fuck you, Kylo. Fucking... Ben! Fuck you. Fuck you and your... what's left of your life. Hopefully you die in The Last Jedi. Fuck you. Alright, the last thing I'll talk about is the last scene. I like the parting scene at the end of the movie as all the worlds that we've come across like throughout the whole trilogy, or the even including the prequels, because they have like planets in there from they added in planets from the prequel trilogy as well to see them
added, like,
partying
Naboo
and
and
celebrating
stuff,
and stuff. Yeah. They're celebrating the death of the Empire. But I would like to point out some of these worlds are very much still under Empire control. And the Empire, as we now know, isn't dead and just killed off simply because the Emperor is dead. So some of these worlds would not be partying, especially Coruscant, which is very definitely probably not partying because they were definitely still under Empire control. So to the end of this movie, I call bullshit.
How did they
Re-edit
even
that
find
shit.
out? Like, how do radios work in Star Wars? was like
They literally have like holographic beams to each other.
Ashley,
that
are you
pop out of,
really
like,
asking this question?
hands?
Yeah.
Like they literally like order 8066.
That's true.
Like what do you mean? How do they
Like,
communicate?
Jimmy, like they literally have these like little like sometimes they're like a robot, sometimes they're in the hand, and then they turn it on, and then all of a sudden they hear
They have
this
little
noise.
Bluetooths that
They hear
just-
this noise.
yeah.
It's like boo 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 boo, like a Skype
need to
call,
invent that.
and then they just
Yeah.
press the button and they get told what's going on. Like this is
like
you
light
know,
years away.
the scene they cut out is like the scene where Luke Skywalker's got like a selfie stick and he's like, "Hey guys, I just totally fucked up the Death Star again. The Emperor's dead. Booyah!" And then runs away with it.
fair.
Yeah, you didn't see that.
I wrote, and the last thing I wrote about the movie is it's a weird ending when you think about it, and I'm glad the current canon expanded universe material has the Empire still keep fighting for some time after the end of this movie, because when you actually think about it, it is weird. Like the idea of them simply killing the head and like the rest of the entire galaxy just like falling over, like, oh, we're done, I guess. Like that's right. Like it's because the movie just ends with them all huddled around, like smiling, like credits, and for a very long time, it's like that's the end of Star Wars. That's they killed the Emperor, and then that was it. But every time I watch this, since Disney took a hold of it, and since they added like the Battle of Jakku and all this sort of stuff, I do appreciate that they made the Empire keep fighting for quite a long time after this before they eventually get pushed out of the galaxy, because it's more realistic to me, I suppose, and I appreciate that more. Just because I just think it's a weird ending. It is still like, I know it's the end of a trilogy, so of course like it wants to wrap up happy, but so okay,
What are you gonna do?
that's it.
How does Kylo Ren get Darth Vader's helmet if they're burning it in the fire?
I'm not 100% sure. They have in the Aftermath books, there are short like interlude, like short stories that like just with random characters and stuff. And in the first book, there's like a short story where I don't remember the character, but someone's like buying Vader's helmet off, just like some caravan just selling goods or something
Those
like that.
Ewoks,
like got a
man.
hold of it.
You can't trust them.
Yeah, so no, I can't trust them. So yeah, I don't 100% know, but picture something like that. There's weird things. There's also a short story in one of those Aftermath books where someone's like buying Boba Fett's armor. So it's like, well, how'd that get out since he was supposed to be digested for thousands of years? So read into that if you want to.
Yeah.
All right,
One more question.
jumping into the
What are Bothans?
good question.
Will we find out in Rogue One 2?
Nope, that is not a movie. That is most definitely not a movie.
Not yet.
I have no idea. I always liked when Rogue One was announced. People were like, oh, the Boffins died to bring us these plans. I'm like, shut up. Stop trying to make jokes. You don't know. That is the second movie. That's the third movie. All right, jumping into Last Jedi news before we wrap up. First thing, before jumping into my shit list, I want to make note that they dropped a 1 minute trailer TV spot thing last week, and you can spot in it a close-up shot of Benicio del Toro's character DJ, which we have seen sweet fuck all of since they announced he's going to be in the movie. But in one of the new spots, there is a close-up shot of him if you're a big Benicio del Toro fan and you want to see more of that character, which I'm highly interested in because I think he's a fantastic actor. And I'm like, what is he doing in a Star Wars movie?
Is he playing the Collector again?
No, he's not playing the Collector again. I think he's playing someone less eccentric, yeah, I think so. And then to wrap up the show, in case anyone hasn't guessed by this point, who has made the shit list?
Who's on the shit list? Let's start with who's on the shit list.
No, we don't have
No?
time to go through the shit list because it's growing daily these days in the world we lived in. Trust me, that could be a whole pleasure explosion topic.
Okay.
Who's on your shit list? Chewbacca has entered the shit list, and if you don't know why, you should go watch the Thanksgiving TV spot for The Last Jedi that they dropped. It's only like a 20-second TV spot. It's got footage from basically old footage we'd already seen before, except for it ends with an extended piece of the Porg yelling in the ship, and Chewie knocks that motherfucker out of the way with his backhand.
He's just shooing him across. It's a bit of a love tap. It's nothing.
I have not had my heart broken so bad in quite a long time.
He was sitting on the controls. He needed to get that.
We don't know the context of this. Maybe the Porg was being a little douchebag. Maybe the Porg.
Maybe
was
Porgs
like,
are into that.
Yeah. Maybe the Porg.
All I'm saying
like-
is I'm putting this out here on air right now. If this movie does not end with Chewie and the Porgs making up and all being friends, I am going to burn Lucasfilm to the ground. I'm going to come to Kathleen Kennedy's house, knock on her door, drop a bag of shit and burn that motherfucker because you're ruining my life.
No, what if
Ryan
that's their
Johnson,
conflict?
you fucking hack director, you and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, get fucked. Get out of my town, get out of my life. Hope you don't direct any more Star Wars movies. I hope J.J. Abrams comes around in episode 9, he brings Porgs back, makes them take over and win. I hope they have Porgs take down all of the Wookiees and burn their homes to the fucking ground.
Maybe that's Chewbacca's like conflict for the 8 and 9 movies. Like, you know, it might finish at a bit of a low point between him and the Porgs, and then by the end of 9, happy story. He might have fell in love with one. They might have cute little Porgies.
Or Pookies.
Pookies. Pookies.
Pookies.
Or
Wargs.
Or Wargs.
I know you're listening, Lucasfilm. And with that, let's wrap up the show. Thank you for joining me this week, Ciaran. Where can people follow you?
On Twitter at your boy Ringo they can.
Ashley, where can people follow you?
Follow me on Twitter at Ashley Hobley, ASHLEYHOBLEY. It's
a thing.
I'm stuck saying it forever.
You are stuck saying it. Thing. It's good. I'm quite happy. You can follow me on Twitter, Vivaladil, VIVALADIL. It is not a thing. And you can follow the show at Explosion Pod and head to explosionnetwork.com for all of the great goodness, shows, stuff like that. Star Wars, other related podcasts. If this is the first one of these you've listened to for some reason, go back, listen to the other ones. They all stand on their own, I'm pretty sure, at this point. And of course, it is worth noting, we've just wrapped up the original trilogy, which means next week we will be watching The Force Awakens, and a week after that, The Last Jedi's here. And we'll be talking about that. And we're wrapping up. It's very exciting. We are fucking so close. It is very exciting. We've only one more movie to watch. One more two more movies to watch, but only one more rewatch to happen before this show's all wrapped up, and I'm getting very, very excited.
Did you see the DLC for Battlefield?
John Boyega, Finn's coming.
Yeah. It's a
December 13th.
December 13th. It's about the...
If you want to play Battlefront with me, add me on PSN. Viva la deal. May the Force be with you.
Everyone told me not to stroll on that beach. Said seagulls gonna come, broke me in the coconut, and they did. And they did. Had me going like,
If you want us to watch the Ewok Christmas special, tweet at Explosion Pod.
I'll do
Ewok
it.
Christmas special.
I've already done
Hashtag.
it, so I thought it was part of today's viewing.
Yeah.
Did you actually watch it?
No, I didn't.
Thank fucking God. Very good. Wrap up that.